everyone, so I've decided to do a quick video. I've literally got a uni Teams meeting thing in like 15 minutes and I actually need to prepare for it. So I'm just going to quickly do this video now because I know if I don't do it now, I won't do it. So I'm going to do this video now and just kind of talk to you about like a few things that have just been really rubbing me up the wrong way. And I don't know if like other people would be able to relate or if it's like more of a personal thing. I'm not too sure yet because just a few things. But yeah, I'm gonna just quickly talk to you about a few things that I just want to get off my chest, otherwise I will explode. I know that lockdown, for example, has not been easy for a lot of people. In fact, that's probably an understatement. Like, it's been really difficult for a lot of people.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm over. If this season plays out like this the whole way, this is the first episode out of what we got, 25? Child, wow. I ain't gonna make it through.
I just find that some people are probably finding it increasingly difficult to kind of talk about how they feel. And I think that's because of a few reasons, but I'm just going to kind of talk about like my main 3 reasons as to why like I probably wouldn't open up to like certain people, or why I wouldn't just open up generally, like why I wouldn't talk about how I feel. And I think the main 3 reasons is probably because, one, like it's really uncomfortable sometimes, like especially when you're not the type to like just kind of talk about how you feel or just like kind of put your thoughts into words. Like that in itself is difficult, let alone like actually opening up to people. But like for me, I just find it sometimes really uncomfortable to just, you know, speak about like what I'm thinking about, because a lot of the time, like I laugh about it, but a lot of the time it is irrational. Like if people were to listen to like some of the stuff that goes on in my head, they'll be like, what is like that? Literally makes no sense. Like why would you think that? So that's one, like it's just a bit uncomfortable. 2, the next 2 are the things that I'm going to kind of talk about in more detail. But like the second thing is some people may not want to open up or talk about how they feel because they feel like they're not allowed to kind of feel the way that they do. So for example, like say for example, you're feeling a bit lonely, you're feeling low, you're kind of experiencing depression, and you're gonna like open up to someone, but you don't really know who to talk to. And then when you finally build up the courage to speak to someone, they say something like, don't worry, we're all in the same boat. Now, I understand like what people mean when they say that, but I just feel like it's a bit dismissive, if I'm being completely honest, because the best analogy I can put it is like, say for example, you know, the pandemic is a storm. The storm is plaguing everyone. It's affecting everyone. Like everyone is, the way I'm waving around this cheese, everyone is kind of affected by this storm in one way or another. And then you're then going to say, don't worry, we're all in the same boat. We're all experiencing this storm. Now, to some extent, like, yes, we are all experiencing this storm, which is the pandemic, but not everyone is in the same boat. Like, not everyone is physically in the same boat. Everyone has their own boat. Some people are sailing through the storm because they have like the experience to do that. Some people are in the storm and they're just about on the water, just about sailing. And some people just don't know how to swim. Some people are drowning. Some people are already at the bottom of the ocean.
This is actually ridiculous. This is actually like not even fair.
Some people are gasping for their life. Like some people are really like fighting for their life right now. And so therefore, like not everyone is really in the same boat. And when you kind of like do open up to people, you probably feel like you're not allowed to feel the way that you do, because when you do open up, they're like, don't worry, everyone's in the same boat. And then you feel kind of bad because you're like, I know everyone's in the same boat, but like I just feel like this at the moment. Yeah. And I just kind of wanted to say that, you know, your feelings are justified. Don't let people kind of make you feel like your feelings are not justified, because, you know, everyone in this pandemic is going to be affected differently. We're not the same people. We all have different experiences and different ways of coping with things. So that's my first thing. The second reason why sometimes I don't feel comfortable opening up to people is because maybe it's more the fact that like I feel like people don't really understand. Like sometimes it's okay, half of it I would say is my mind telling me like not everyone understands, because sometimes like people will experience the same thing as you and you're just like, no one understands me, I'm just so misunderstood. Oh my god, I literally say that all the time. But like half of it is genuinely the fact that some people may not understand the way you do things, and you know, some people cope with things differently. Some people want to talk about things, some people go distant, some people just try to avoid their problems, some people turn to other things to try and cope with the stress of life. And I think some people just need to show a bit of sensitivity in this time. Okay, for example, my main thing is in my faith we call it a calling, or like other people, if you don't have a faith, you may call it like a purpose, or just like a vision for your life, something that you can do that no one can do like you, basically. Like that could be doing hair, that could be dancing, singing, sport, learning languages, like reading, research, you know, it could be like historical things, it could be literally anything. It's just basically something that no one can do like you. And like my thing is I like to speak, as you can tell. Like I speak a lot. I speak a lot. I speak so much. Now that I think about it, I speak so much. But like my natural being, how I was when I was younger, I was just always the quieter type. I was more introverted. I didn't really like talking to a lot of people. I just kind of stuck with my group. I didn't really like sharing my business to people. I didn't really like that type of stuff. I just didn't do. And because like speaking was kind of inbuilt in me to kind of articulate my words and say it how I feel it, it's just something that I can do. So I do it, right? But sometimes now and then, like I don't really want to speak in public because I myself am feeling a bit like on the introverted side, or I don't really feel like, you know, what I'm saying would be of much use. But at the end of the day, like there's some things that you need to do, not necessarily because of how you feel, but sometimes like what you're doing has an impact on other people. So for example, I know that by speaking, not only will it like improve my skills and improve, you know, my mood, because it makes me happy to speak, even though it takes me a while to actually do it, but it does make me happy. But I know that if I don't speak about some things, people who may not necessarily feel as comfortable to speak out may not feel understood. So maybe when they listen to me, they think, oh, like I really like the way that she speaks about this, because that's exactly how I feel. If I didn't listen to this, then I would have been in point A or point B or whatever. Yeah, so sometimes I just do things not because of how I feel, but because I feel like doing it would make an impact in someone's life. Just like if you were to like do hair, maybe you don't like even touching people's heads, maybe you didn't even like that, but because you're good at hair, you just firm it, you go, you know what, let me just do their hair because it's something I'm good at. Or if, for example, cooking, you don't even like standing up for hours and washing up and stuff, but because you know you're good at cooking, you'll do it. There's so many different things that can deter you from doing what you're supposed to do in life. One thing that stops me from talking about how I feel is because people will look at what you do and automatically assume like you're sorted, you're set, like you're good, when it could just be the fact that like you're doing something because not because you feel like you should do it, or not because you feel you have to do it, but because you know it will impact others. Like for example, people will wake up in the morning and they'll go to work not because they want to go to work, because they have bills to pay. Yeah, some people will do their uni course not because they want to do their uni course, but because they know in a few years time they will need that degree to do what they want to do in life. Like, so please, like I'm begging you guys, don't look at other people and look at what they do and look at the fact like they look like they're functioning, they must be fine. Because a lot of the time people are doing stuff not because they feel to do it, not because they want to do it, but because they know that if they don't do it, they won't be fulfilling what they have to do. Now, I don't know if that made sense. I don't know if that made sense to anyone, but I just felt like these are like some things that were on my chest that I feel like either A, like people may be able to relate to it and they just feel kind of misunderstood, or feel like they're not able to speak about like how they actually feel, or just like the fact that we're in a pandemic and, you know, people are gonna be impacted by this pandemic in different ways. So that's all I have to say, really. I literally have a Teams right now, so that's gonna be the end. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and also actually I'm gonna leave a question at the end just so that you guys have something that you can comment down below. So what is like one of the reasons why you may not necessarily like open up to people? Like, do you feel like some people are just a bit like, there's some people you just won't open up to, or what is it? Like, I'm curious, I'm genuinely curious. So you can either leave it down below or you can send me a message or whatever. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say for today. But make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, and all that jazz. And I've got a Teams meeting to attend. Goodbye.